Hey everyone, in this video we are going to look into ServiceNow's flow generation capabilities. So first thing, I should have Now Assist for Creator app installed in my instance. Second is, the user who wants to leverage these capabilities should have Now Assist Creator role. And most importantly, the flow generation skill should be active in the instance. So let's take a look whether our skill is already active or not. So I'm going to go to the Now Assist admin console. Now Assist admin. And then let's go to Now Assist Skills tab. Over here I have an option under employee named creator. So let's go to creator, and here we can see a bunch of skills which can be activated, like experience generation, content refinement, playbook generation, event generation, and things like that. So we will focus on items related to flow. We want to generate flows. So this is the flow generation skill which I can activate by clicking on turn on. So once I do that, the skill would be activated. So this skill is now active, and let's see if there are any other skills related to the flows. So there is a skill called flow recommendation. I think this would be helpful too. So I'm going to activate this. And what else do we have? Let me scroll up and see. Okay, we do have flow summarization, so let's turn that on as well. This skill is also activated. So I will go to the flow designer now to see what we can do using these new capabilities. We are on the flow designer homepage, and let's try to create a new flow. So here we have the options for creating a new flow designer, and there's a new option available, build with Now Assist, which will eventually help us to create the outline of our flow. So let's create a flow using Now Assist, and I'm going to give it the name as software approval request. And I would like to specify my directions for Now Assist to be able to create a flow. First part has to be data or the trigger, and then we need to deep dive into all the conditions. So, and it is also mentioned over here that include as much detail as possible for the best results. So let me give it a prompt, and then we'll see how it is able to help us generate a flow. Okay, so here's my prompt. I've tried to give all the details. Submit a catalog item named software request. First approval should go to manager, then second approval should go to this group, software approvals. And if the request is rejected, send email to requested for saying request is rejected and body the subject of email. After all the approvals, assign a catalog task to application development assignment group. Once the task is closed, send email to requested for saying request is complete. So I think this is it, and I'm just going to see additional properties on a system user, and I will click on generate flow preview. So let's see whether Now Assist is able to generate an exact flow or it requires heavy modifications from our side. And while it is generating the flow, we can also take a look at the directions that we have given to Now Assist. And also after the flow is generated, if we feel like we need to modify the directions, we can modify it here and regenerate the flow. So once we modify anything in the directions, this regenerate preview will become active. So let's take a look at the flow at a high level. Okay, at a high level, this looks fine. I'm going to click on save and edit flow over here. It says the flow was generated by Now Assist. Let's close this box. Let's take a look at the activation part, whether we can activate it right away or not. Error saying that something is mandatory and must be filled in. And that's because, as I already mentioned in the beginning, now assist will only generate an outline of the flow. It will not fill in all the data points or whatever inputs are required to the actions we are using and things like that. So let's go to native view of the flow and we can take a look at this easily. Uh, for there are multiple data points I'm expecting that they will be missing. So if I go to ask for approval, it did not select this exact rule, whether what should happen when it is rejected. So this kind of flow, if we do not select the rejection part, the flow will be stuck if the request is not approved. If it is approved, it will move forward, otherwise it will not. So ideally, we should select approve or reject, and then we should choose a rule over here. Anyone approves or rejects. Okay. And since the first approval was supposed to go to manager, we need to select requested for .manager. Let's take a look at other missing data points. So the second one is ask for approval on table name. So same mistake over here. This is not filled in by default, and we also need to select the group. I specifically mentioned about the group, but still it is not selected. So we need to specify that data point as well to be able to use this flow for our catalog. Now let's take a look at the send email part. We gave the subject and the body. So the body is not filled in, but the subject is. So this part is working fine. We wanted to send an email to the requested for, so 2 is selected. So this is a little bit okay. Now let's go to the catalog task section. So we wanted to create a catalog task along with assignment group field filled in with application development, which is not filled in. So we need to take care of that. And once the task is closed and our item is closed, we are expecting to send an email that says request is completed, but again it I think just copied the existing one which it created over here. So at a high level, I would say we have an outline of the flow. We just need to fill in all the data points and look at minor issues before we can finally activate this flow. So this could be helpful in scenarios where we have multiple if-else conditions or logic that do this after that and then do this again after that and things like that. If it is a simple flow where we want to submit a catalog with maybe 1 or 2 approvals and then task and close it, this might not be required because it will take the same amount of time if you create it from the scratch. But if it is a huge flow with multiple data points, I think in such scenarios, not just for catalog, it could be for any application. Maybe you want to run a job on a daily basis with XYZ logic. Maybe you want to create something or trigger something when an incident is submitted. So it is definitely helpful because it creates the outline for you. Don't have to worry about where to place the if else or when to add the approvals. But yeah, if your flow is quite short, then this might not be helpful. It is quite helpful when your flow has multiple entry points or multiple inputs are involved where you need to specify the flow output. So thank you so much for watching.